reunion, welcome to the last day of the week and our mobility, flexibility and weak links workout. In this one, and I'm going to jump right into it, I'm working both upper body and lower body. As you can see here, I'm starting with some wrist mobility, just to get some mobility on the wrists and increase some range of motion that will help me in the future, for example, for the planche and the handstand. As you saw, I did front leaning, backward leaning, side leaning, and after I'm also going to do some strengthening exercises for the wrists and for the elbows. Here we'll see some ideas for wrist and elbow strengthening, because as you are strengthening the wrist, you also end up strengthening a little bit your elbows due to the muscle insertion on the elbow, and you will also see some wrist mobility exercises that you probably don't use, but they are good for you to try and implement on your training. So as you see, I did some foam rolling as well. This one was just to increase the blood flow to the area, as well as acutely, meaning that in a short period of time increase the range of motion of the muscle and of the joint. The video will be with a faster motion, otherwise it would be too long, because I filmed everything that I did on that day and it was a long workout. In this next one, also with a foam roller, I did some rolling off the back just to increase the blood flow. Here was mainly to increase the blood flow. And then I did some thoracic extension mobility exercise so that I can increase the thoracic extension and will help me further on the handstand, for example. And here you go from an upper and lower portion of the mid-back just to increase mobility on different segments of the vertebrae. Afterwards, as you are seeing, I did some side bending on the pancake position. This one also helps you with the mobility of the back and will also help you stretch a little bit your legs. Here I was focusing more on the back. As you see here, I'm doing rotations and so on to get some mobility and some stretch on the lats, on the quadratus lumborum and on the back itself. Then going here to the butterfly and doing as well some adductor stretch. And then I will keep on showing you some hip mobility exercises, hip stretch exercises, as well as hip strengthening as the hip rotation that you are seeing now. Additionally, I kept on going with some mobility of the back, some thoracic mobility, some lower back mobility, now in the forward lunge, and also this one will help you stretch a little bit and get some mobility of the hips, hamstrings and so on, as even the quads. And as you see, I'm focusing a lot on the mobility of the upper body and mainly on the back, because I really need that to improve my handstand and to improve my one-arm handstand journey, because I'm going to drop a little bit the way that I'm performing it, and I will just be using some type of basic exercises for the one arm, but mainly the basic handstands, just doing holds, just doing shapes and just increasing the time that I can perform the position. That's why I need to have a better extension of the thoracic spine, as well as shoulder mobility that you are also going to see next. This one is with the ball in the back of the foot. It's just to increase the blood flow to the back of the foot, to the fascia, and increase again in a short period of time the mobility of the hamstrings, of the calves and of the feet itself, so that I can go deeper into the stretch after. So here again, some mobility for the shoulder and for the back, mainly the upper back. Again, thoracic extension, shoulder flexion exercises to increase that shoulder mobility, thoracic mobility, because they are both really related to one and another, and they will help me on the road to the handstand. The one with the stick behind me was just to work with some shoulder extension that is also needed for the exercise, like the back lever, and also help you get some mobility in the external rotation and the extension of the shoulder. Next on the line, another lunging position and stretching a little bit the side of the upper body as well as the quads, doing some elevated lunge to increase the stretch on the quads, as well as side bending to stretch the side of your body, the obliques, the quadratus lumborum, as well as the latissimus dorsi. Another great one is the Jefferson curl, as you see here, just bending all your back until you reach as far as you can without pushing it, just going slow, don't push it too hard, go feel the motion. And then here I'm adding some weight, and yes, there is no problem in adding some weight to the bending of the back if you do it progressively and if you don't go too hard on yourself. So I'm using 8 kilograms because I already used this for a long time, but you can start with 1 kilogram, 2 kilograms, and start bending slowly, increasing the range of motion, increasing the back awareness of the exercise, and then you will be good to go and you don't need to worry about having an injury while doing this exercise, okay? So next on the line, some shoulder mobility, shoulder flexion exercises and some rotator cuff strengthening, as you see here with the rotation of the stick. In terms of repetition, and that must be one thing that you are asking yourself. In these trainings, I don't go with an amount of repetitions, I just go with a feeling. Sometimes I go with repetitions, sometimes I don't, but mostly I'm going to go with the feeling where I feel like I'm stretching, like I feel more loose, or even if I feel like I have reached near failure in some strengthening exercises, like the ones for the shoulder, for rotator cuff, as you are seeing here, okay? Another point regarding this day, this mobility flexibility day, is a day that it's like a rest day. Instead of being a rest day, it's an active rest day, so you must enjoy it the most and use it to work some weak links and have some fun in your training, not only just going with all in, but also experiment with it and test yourself, test what you need to work on, okay? After, and you are already seeing it, I'm working on my elbow and wrist strength because I really need this one. It's one of my weak links, mainly on my left arm, and I did some dumbbell, just 2 kilograms, doing some raises, some flexion extension, as well as radial and ulnar deviation to strengthen all the range of motion and all of the planes of movement of the wrist and elbow. These are very good. I also have a video about this one, about wrist strengthening and elbow strengthening. You can check it out in the channel, and I will probably put the link in the description down below, okay? So here, another weighted exercise. This one a little bit different, just bicep curls, and you are seeing me doing just on the left arm because it's the one that I need to strengthen, mainly the biceps as well as the brachioradialis, as you are going to see next. And also due to the injury and to the pain on the elbow, I need to get that strong and stable. The first part you saw me doing with my wrist flexed, and now I'm doing with my fingers open, my hand open, and I want to discuss this with you because when you are flexing your fingers, you also activate the flex, and you tend to get some strength for the biceps out because you are helping it with the wrist flexors. So try to do it, if you are doing this type of exercise, try to do it with your hand open, and you will feel a lot of difference in terms of bicep activation. I got this one from Athlean-X. It's a good one, good advice to keep and to use. The exercise that you saw when I did the bicep curl with the elbow pronated and reaching to the chest was for the brachioradialis, as I told you, is a muscle that also stabilizes your elbow, and it's important for that part of the stability of the elbow and wrist. Next on the line, the old splits, just getting there, just getting some work in. Haven't done much of this lately, but I was trying to get a little bit there and trying to explore some new ranges as well. So I'm going to show you some sets of these, and this will be the one of the last exercises that I've performed in this routine. To finish off, some relaxation, some type of active stretching, and this is a position of global stretch. Here we are both working on the posterior chain, stretching the posterior chain as well as the anterior chain of the upper body. And here is a good one to finish up because you are calming your breath, you are increasing the stretch, you are increasing the range of motion, and you just feel rested and recover after doing this if you don't go too hard on yourself and you just enjoy the position and stay there for a long period of time. I was doing about 5 to 10 minutes, so this is a good one to finish your workout and to really relax your mind and your body. So guys, a little bit of my mobility recovery routine as well as injury prevention routine, as well as some splits routine inside of this Sunday workout. I showed a little bit of what I did, not all the sets, not all the reps, not all the exercises, just some different things so that you could see different exercises that you could implement and explain to you why I'm doing them. Of course, I'm not doing them just because they are fun. Most of them are not fun, but they are the fundamental for me right now, and I'm doing them because of that. So as you saw, different exercises, but about the split, I couldn't go all the way out because I feel sore. My legs are sore from the other workouts, and I don't want to push it too much on static and end of range stretch, as that could go wrong. And I will do it probably more often next week, okay? When it comes to the rest of the workout, as you saw, a lot of work done related to the shoulders and to the elbows, a lot of pre-ab exercises, I think I can call it like that, for the elbow, for that injury, to recover that injury, to strengthen the elbow, to also get some mobility on the shoulder as well. And that was basically it for the upper body, some thoracic mobility as you saw in the beginning. And if you also want to know more about this thoracic mobility, I'll probably do a video about it, how to improve your thoracic mobility. For example, it's good for the handstand, and if you would like that, make sure you comment below as well. And but basically it was getting some movement, like an active rest day, and that's basically what I did. I didn't plan the day, I just went with it and did what I felt comfortable with and what I thought I needed. I don't really plan this. I like to go, let's say, with the flow and just work what I feel like doing on that day, so that I can enjoy it and it's a more pleasure work day or a more pleasure rest day, okay? So I encourage you to do the same. Have a day that you rest, but you do something that you need to do just to get some movement, so that your body don't be seated all day, stop the whole day, okay? I hope you enjoy this series. I hope you enjoy this 1 week of training. Sorry for this one, not too extensive and not too explained. And if you would like to see more of this type of content, make sure you comment below and subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'm going to see you on the next one.